Hey, welcome to On Track Tuesday, everybody. It is August 26th. So, how about that? August is already over, basically. So, let's get the show started real quick. I was looking back through some old videos just for fun, reminiscing. So, for those of you that have been with me from the beginning, you'll maybe get a kick out of this. This is the old Crooked River in Eastern, version 1. This is the old Crooked River.
What's these
No sound on
scale
this.
train GEVO units come across the Crooked River?
So,
Running a grain
CSX
train
upper
today.
trains.
CSX grain
A couple
hoppers.
eyeballs in there too, but most of them are all CSX hopper.
Eddie did a nice run on those. I decided it needed to look a little more used than what it did when it came out of the box. It's an AccuRail product there.
All right, there we go. So hopefully you can hear me okay now. Like I said, that video I didn't have any sound on it. I thought it was kind of neat. I was looking back for some old, um, just videos that I had. I love my new layout, but every once in a while I'll go back and look at some of the old stuff. Some of the old guys have been here for a while. Looks like Floyd got in here first. Back when I put this up. So good evening, Floyd. Kyle, good evening. There's Dwight. How you doing, Curly? Went through this real quick. Yeah, Ronald. Good evening, Ronald. Hey, Chris, Motor Train Aficionado. Good to see you. That's a spectacular layout there, too. One of these days I will actually get over there to see that, Chris. Lynn McCurdy. Good afternoon, I guess, for you, more like. What's the connection between a cruise ship and trains? Check my latest video to find out. Okay, all right. Throw up a link if you have one, Lynn. It's Chris, Tennessee River Union. Good to see you here. You want a cookie? Yeah, I'm going to go for a cookie, too. You're too late to get a cookie on the show. Lynn wants ice cream. I think that's what we got, some ice cream for after the show. We want some ice cream bars. I like the vanilla with the chocolate coating on it, on a stick. I like those. Those are good. Schuylkill River John. What's going on, John? Good to see you. See Ronald Waby, equal one bourbon and scotch and a beer. One bourbon, one scotch, one beer. Hey, Wigwag. How's it going, Stephen? How you been? Good to see you. So if I miss any comments, hey, Mike says to trains. Hey, nice job on that contest with K&W. Kansas and Western, man. There's so many good entries in that contest, and to come in second was an honor. I, when I saw you in there, I was like, that's it. I'm not winning this thing. Yours is just spectacular work on your layout, details, and everything. So good job, man. Congratulations. It was fun. It was fun. I like that guy's channel. I think his name's Alan. I'm not sure. He never really says his name. At least I don't think he does. You guys are counting down. Joe Raider. What's up, Joe? A couple of nice videos there from your visitor over the weekend. Visitors, I should say. I'm so glad to see Pappy made it over there, him and Tammy. It's just a spectacular layout. Anyone have the new Rapido GP40, especially 3123 late version? I do not. No, I don't have any Rapido. I have a couple well cars from Rapido, I think. Like 6 of them, and that's about it. I don't really have anything else from them. Hey, wrong show for that. Wrong show. Have a little faith in me, Joe. Jeez, my buddy over there. Hey, I'm the one having the show. So I guess whenever I start it, that's when it's on time. If any of that made sense, I don't know. In my mind, it sounded right. Oh, speaking of Pappy, there he is. Looked like you had a good time, Pappy. It's a spectacular layout, isn't it? Now, I heard you were going to Anthony's too, but I didn't see anything yet from there. Video from either of you on that one. But that's another layout. There's so many guys here that just have spectacular stuff, spectacular work. Chris does spectacular work. Unfortunately, he had to tear his down. Darn it. That's right, he'll be rebuilding. Dave, BNSFN Scale, good evening. Was not late. What do you think? Maybe a few seconds. That's it. Well, then those hoppers aren't clean anymore, Chris. That was from the old layout, back when I hadn't really dabbled in any kind of weathering much yet at that point. I was going in it a couple of years. It was far enough in that I had that part of the layout scenic, at least pretty much, to my skill level at the time, anyways. Ed Hodge, how you doing, Ed? Good to see you. Oh, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that was a good contest. That was nice. I was just watching his video earlier on the that mill that he's building, the steel scrap mill. It's interesting how he does that. It's a big area because, like I think I commented to him, I have one of those engine houses, as you guys know, and it takes up a lot of room. And he got two of them, back to back. And I know Chris Scovia Go Home has three of them. I think he put his side by side, though. But either way, they're big kits. It's going to be a cool area, I'm sure. Can't wait to see when he actually starts scenicking stuff more. Right now he's working, I think, getting the tracks and all that in, but picked up a scale model. What'd you get to there? I got a box coming from Jason. Got Colonel Cottonbelt, train freak. It was supposed to be here last Monday. We got stuck in Indianapolis. Now it's in Chicago. Why not? We'll see. I might get it. Maybe by the end of the month. Who knows? Hey, Jim Tedesco. How you doing, Jimmy? There's Anthony. You and Anthony? Because you got a cookie for some ice cream. How about you take some ice cream and you dip your cookie in it? There you go. Why skim? Because I have both. I mean, it's ice cream. It's cookies. Real artist. What it's worth, real artist. Artist is in the house. It's worth a lot. I'm very glad to have you. All right, let's see. You're welcome. It's guys like you with the details that always impress the hell out of me, and I one day will get better at. It's oh, hey JD, just stop by to say hi. I'm at Jackson football practice. Cool video the other day. Nothing better than football and trains, right? That was pretty cool. Well, yeah, it's like I get my scenes to a certain level, and then it's like I always intend on going back and doing more details. But I got a lot of acreage here I'm trying to work on, so I don't know. get it believable, I guess, and then kind of go from there. I'll get back to him eventually. That's kind of what I was starting to do on the old layout. I had everything pretty much done. I had like nothing else. I had no more room to put anything, like any new buildings or kits or anything like that. I just started to kind of go back through and do some detailing and lighting of buildings and lighting of streets and stuff like that. And then this other area of the basement became available. And I was like, well, this is a good time to start. I was getting kind of bored with what I had. So I was like, well, they always say never going to be your last one layout. I mean, so I went ahead and oh, here we are. Here we are. Yeah, there, thank you, Wiggly. Number 23 months. That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that. Is he sticking around for any length of time? I caught a little bit, like on the replay of his video, his live. I missed it live, but looks like you guys had a really good time, man. I'm really sad I couldn't make it up there. But next time. Oh, he made it down. Okay. I know I'm running behind. So I'm glad to hear it. I know he was telling me, and I think he really wanted to get there before, because knowing that you're probably going to move in the next year or so, you want to make sure you got down there to see it before you tore it all down. And Joseph did make it to Anthony's and as well. It was a great day, yeah. Posting you soon about the teardown and plans on the new layout soon. Oh, perfect. Hey, you haven't really even told me a whole lot about your plans on it. A little bit. Hey, Matt, you and Dave, everyone all well got up for fascia paint. It looks great, buddy. Up there, right behind me, yeah. Fascia is now behind my head. The brown, I just put that up today. Today? Yeah. There's a few spots on the other side. If you remember the one video I did, update video, I said that I had bought enough to do most of the rest of the upper level backer board. I just haven't put it in yet, you know. So now I got it in. I'm just waiting on the mud to dry so I can sand it down. I'm just going to paint it blue for now. Maybe throw a few clouds on there if I feel up to it. Eventually there'll be backdrops on there like I have underneath here on the bottom. We'll see. I just needed to get it out of the garage and get it on the darn wall, you know. So I had to move my mug holders up there. The mugs hung down a little bit low. It would have covered some of the backdrops. So I had to, that's on the other wall, obviously you can't see that. I don't have a camera on it. But yeah, so I got that done. It's kind of, yeah, Floyd. It's kind of one of the things I've been putting off, wanting to get done. I really want to get the backdrop continued on the other area. But the climb is going to be a real pain in the neck because it's just, it cuts like right across the wall, you know. So I got to somehow put the backdrop, but the climb is going to block like right through the middle of it. And I'm not sure how to do it. I'd love to be able to hide the climb, but I've been racking my brain. That's a big red soda and vanilla ice cream for a tasty treat. Oh, that sounds good, actually. I haven't had a big red soda in a long time. Probably since I was a kid. Hey, Cal, I use NC. So I am, Dave. Almost all done. Just a lot of detail work now. Yeah, which is fine, too. It's fun. But you get to a point where I like doing scenery and I like doing stuff like that. I gotta be in the mood to do it. That's why I don't do. That's why I haven't really gone any further than I have. But what I'm not good at is planning. As far as and Chris, Tennessee River helps me out a lot with it. Other people do too, but Chris is really good at looking at a space saying, okay, what do you think you want in this area? I'll tell him what I think I want. I'll give him dimensions, and he'll just draw roads in and stuff. He can visualize instead of a road just being straight across and angle it or curve it in and around and snake it around and different things like that. But I have a hard time envisioning stuff like that. Once I do get a vision, envision of what I want, then I'm okay. Like the service station I just put in, that was not even planned for there. That just happened to pop in my head. Um, I wanted to do something with that and decided that that's where it was going to go. And, you know, it came out, I think it came out nice, anyways. And, but it was not planned for that at all. Good morning, James. Good morning, James. Wrong show. Good evening, James. Yeah, I see. Sorry, I know I'm behind. Shocker. Looked like you had some fun there, James. I saw you had a little video out there. Looked like a good time. That seems to be the consensus. There's a couple other guys that had said that too. I noticed were saying they're just exhausted, like in your comments and videos. It means it was a good weekend. Did a lot. Sparky does a nice job, man, planning these things out. And, I think we all jump on board with it and have a good time with it. So not 100% on the plans. I got a rough idea, but I really need to see and study my space. I have the new apartment. Yeah. For those that don't know, Chris ended up moving. They downsized from the house. And it's going to be a lot for them. And temporarily, at least, they're moving to an apartment. So I'm assuming you're going to kind of build that kind of modular. So if you do move again, you could take it and just expand on it. I would, at least if it was me, that's what I would do. I feel like I'm yelling. You got a locomotive from Artie. That's cool. Yeah, I missed most of his thing. Hey, Monsville. Good day, sir. When the hell are you taking Artie back? He's been gone, what, in 3 months, man. I think that's what he said the other morning. Another Waller's track to make a loop with a few switches. Need to learn wiring now. A lot of videos on wiring, man. Run yourself a bus line under the table. Just like your table is like a big O, I think, right? Or oval. It's open. I think it's open in the middle. You could run 2 wires all the way around. Say black and white, black and red and white, whatever. Pick a color. Put 2 colors. Run it around. Make a bus line is what it would be called. Hook one into your system. And then anytime you have a feeder you drop down, I used red and black. And then I used how gauge did I use? I'll say 18. 16. Maybe 16. But I used stranded for the bus. But then I used 22 gauge wire for my feeders. And I use the same colors. And you guys, when I gotta think now, I think it's red to the rear and black to the back. I can't remember which now. You got to keep them in line or you'll get a short. And you just drop the feeders down. A lot of guys will use those suitcase connectors, real simple. Bam, bam. Do that every 3 feet. A lot of guys will do if I have a stretch of track, I'll try to do it about every 3 feet. When you have your turnouts and stuff, you're going to have to. I don't use powered turnouts or powered frogs. I use insulated frogs. So I have feeders before the turnout, feeders on both ends of the turnout. If I miss any corners, just do it careful. Oh, I know. I just chose not to curve it in the corners for the backdrops. I don't want to lose the space. You curve the corner and you lose the whole corner. I'd rather take that corner and put some kind of scenery in it and then, hide the corner with that. So, but yeah, the face is all curved everywhere. You can see behind it. Like at the end of my aisles, it's a nice curve. I mean, it's only 30 inches in the aisle is. So at the bottom of the aisle, it's really tight curve down there. I really wanted to work on my upper balances. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to do them, guys. I just don't know if I can do them. I just have so much duct work and everything above my head and everywhere like that. I just don't think I can make them work. This is a real problem area over here. I'm gonna get that to turn. And you kind of see it there. All that up in the corner there. I somehow have to come around all that. And I just don't really know how I'm going to do that and make it look right. I could probably do something with it, but I'm trying to figure out how to attach everything so it's attached, right. And I have an idea how I want to do that. Attach it all. That's not the issue. My issue is how am I going to do that to make it look nice, way behind. Not really, about 5 minutes. That's not terrible for me, geez. John Train, FGR. How are you? Good to see you, man. So I was AFK for a bit. Took some time to dish out some dessert for us. Red velvet cake with salted caramel ice. Oh, man. Oh, you made that. Yeah. It's all right, man. Make somebody a good wife one of these days. Yeah, that's the smart way to do it. This way, you can easily move it if that happens, if needed. Or he's on his way home. I thought he said he was sticking around for about a week over there. Too far away to give out. Class 82 runs on the Dundas Junction. It does sound tasty, doesn't it? I love cake, man. I'd rather have cake than ice cream. I know, blasphemy, right? And I'm just a simple, wedding cake kind of guy. Just like white cake, white frosting. I don't like my frosting real sweet. Like just a little touch of that buttercream, just a touch of sweetness. You get some of these store-bought cakes, some of the grocery store cakes, and it tastes like you can feel the grit and the sugar in it. GRE 2057. Good evening. How are you doing? Oh, you need to learn the switches. I know some part you need to isolate and look at some videos and hope they help. If not, I'll make videos. Yeah. Let's see here. All right, Kyle. What I know, which I am not an expert at any of this stuff, depending what kind of frogs you have. Now, I use Pico. Mine are all insulated frogs. So you get another piece of plastic in there. And then right there, it keeps the wheels from touching at the same time, because these are different polarities on these rails, A lot of guys will take the inside here, they'll put plastic joiners on these two. You could do it on all of them, but and then what you would do is you would have the track coming in here. I would put feeders here, and I put feeders coming out of each one of these. Look on the track coming out. I don't ever solder anything to these. I'm not that good at it. I don't want to ruin a good turnout. Again, I am not an expert by any means. Like I don't use frog juicers. I don't use electrofrogs or anything like that. So you run a lot of 4-axle stuff, a lot of chassis stuff that's 4-axle. So sometimes it would help to have like a frog juicer or like a Keep Alive or something in your locomotive, especially if you're running over them slow. There's the second video of my club. Views are way down, so appreciate sharing it here, Dave. Yeah. Yeah, boy, I showed my wife that video of the one with the snake in the tunnel. If you guys haven't seen that, holy mackerel. I think I had a heart attack right now. I told my kids, I said, well, that'd be one way to get me out of my railroading is move me to Australia. Because I don't think I'd want to have that chance. Not a fan. Hey, Jerry. How you doing, buddy? What am I trying to do? Trying to explain something to Kyle. Not very well, though. Already left for LA, flies home in 2 days. Okay. I already ought to hit up Derailed Daryl. Should have called him in advance so he could make plans with him. He's a busy guy. Hey, Raymond Anthony. How you doing, sir? Yeah, Kyle, like I said, I'm no expert at it. I mean, my stuff runs good most of the time. You know, I get a gremlin every once in a while, but generally I figure it out. Most of my trouble is when I try to go too fast or something and then I get ahead of myself. Here's red and green wires, port left, port red and starboard right. Green. Port is left and then uses red, starboard is right and uses green. Gotcha. Back picked up scale trains BNS of 24. Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, phone call. That's all right. Using Pico Insel frog switches as well. Yeah. I've had good luck with them. I don't know. Somebody recommended them when I first got into it back in like 2017. I've been out of the hobby like 25 years, never did DCC. And I don't remember who it was that recommended that. And that's what I went with and stuck with it. And so when I rebuilt the layout, the box yard and caboose now, yeah. When I rebuilt the layout, I would have had to rebuy like 53 switches because that's what I had on the old layout, and I needed then that and then some on this layout. So I couldn't justify rebuying all that. Plus, I was able to salvage a lot of my flex track, so I used that. I did buy new flex track for the yard or for the main lines, and then also the climb. If anyone any issues with like gummed up track or anything like that on the climb, and everything else is pretty much I reused. But now I'm running on bare plywood and a straight line, but it is running something. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's like a shelf layout. It's basically what you're doing, running in a straight line. You just, crossing over to different lines, but they're all most of the time straight or like an L. This is Pico, yeah. I run all Pico turnouts. Well, I take that back. I have a few curved Atlas turnouts, those big ones that I use, and then all the other ones are Pico Insel frogs, and I use code 100. Again, that's what I was recommended to use in the beginning. I wish I would have went with 83 just for the looks. That's a whole debate. I don't really want to get into it. I've had it before. I screws better in cold weather for some reason. See, that's ass backwards, man. Most people would say the other opposite way. Hey, Thomas Grayson. I isolate all my turnouts. They all are a separate block for signaling the work. Yeah. See, you're all fancy like that. I don't do that. So that's Kyle. That Thomas might be somebody to reach out to for community blocks and stuff, for signaling and all that. I started out trying to do that, and I got too confused, and I was already moving at a snail's pace. And I just wanted to get a loop of track running, man. Because I told myself I was going to kind of go, in order. Like, I'm going to do all that wiring as I'm building. It'll be easier. And it was. I kind of got some of it wired up, and I just gave up on it. It was a pain in the neck. Use Atlas. I use Atlas. The Flex Track is all Atlas. I use Code 100, though, of course. Two DCC friendly Walther switches, just decided to go with Walther's track. And there's, 6 one, half a dozen on the other. I think James uses Walther's. He was using their turnout motors. I'm not sure if he's using their turnouts and track and stuff. I know he did a couple videos on their switch motors. That's something you have to decide too if you want to do that. You want to power your turnouts, like switch motors, have them powered, or you just want to use the little manual. But like Pico has a spring in it, so you don't have to. You don't have to stay. You don't have to do anything. Like those Caboose Industry throws, you don't have to add one of those throws. Now, if you're going to hook up the switch motor, unless you're doing a snap motor, one of those coil motors, I guess. I don't know what they're called. Like tortoises, you would have to remove the spring. There's a spring in there. There's a way to take it out. Because I don't believe they're strong enough to snap these over. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's, again, the experience I've had with them. All right. Awesome Possum. Brad, how are you, Brad? I'm way behind now, geez. That's still about 5 minutes. We're going to Paris Junction Friday afternoon. Okay, sounds fun. I don't know where that's at. Sounds fun. Sounds like somewhere you would go rail fanning. Anyone modeling N-Scan, which microtrain trucks are best for center flow hoppers? Medium extension or short extension? It is not a question for me. I have no idea. Hey, Wesley, good evening. Do we have any N-Scalers in here? So, I'm old school all the way. I was raised with it, and I'm going to stick with it. Okay. Nothing wrong with that, man. Like I said, I was out of the hobby for 20-something years, 25 years, close to it. I didn't have any DC stuff left anyway. I had very little of anything left. A few cars and stuff like that, which DC, it doesn't matter really. So I said, I might as well just learn it and get into it. That seemed to be what everybody was going to, I know they're even going to other stuff now. It's kind of weird for me to send Avon at night. I hope everyone's doing good. I'm driving. Hey, Bernard. It is, it's tough. Sometimes I gotta catch myself. I want to say, good morning to people. I'm used to doing my morning show, Hey, Derek Wimberly. Even for a big Piero. Stupid talk to text. Yeah. Those voice things, my voice is scratchy, rough. I mumble. Those voice, text and things like that don't like me. we use this thing at work. It's called Vocera. It's you call. It's like you speak into it, and then you'll call people, you know, and on the unit and stuff. And that thing hates me. Yeah, man. I'm not against it. Like I said, I got into it with nothing, so I started from scratch. Or a Pico Flex Track. I'm going to go with Pico turnouts. There you go. Never used the Flex Track, so I can't say much on that, but I love the turnouts. I've had next to no issues with these turnouts. I use the 95, 96s on like spurs and stuff. And I use the 88, 89s, which are the longer ones for the main line. And like crossovers and stuff like that. And in my yards and that, I use the shorter ones. There's so many. Those are the two that I use. I have a couple of curved ones too, but they're very slight curves and not much. Just pulling in the Napa. I seen Jim. Hey, Tedesco. Kyle, I'm using the new DCC friendly turnout dual against slanted joiners. I don't use them on these either. I had I think there was one spot I had to use them. I don't know if it was an issue with the turnout or what. I think I ended up replacing that turnout. So it might have been the turnout. It was on the old layout. I had Sheena Horrors on it originally, like for the curved turnouts. They were not DCC friendly. So I was watching videos on how to cut, you know, how to cut the rails and stuff to make your gaps and all these different things. Like, man, this is crazy. I don't even, I'm barely functional with this stuff. I wasn't good at soldering yet. I was new to using like a Dremel and stuff like that for this type of application. Shit, man. I don't like this. So I ended up tearing those out. After I friggin' ruined them. I don't know if I can even sell them or give them away. They were ruined. No switch motors here. All will be ground thrown. Just keep it simple, stupid. Yeah. Yeah. I do have them on my main lines. I did them in my co-op yard and my CR&E yard, but I didn't do them over in my Stony Ridge area where I have some industry. I left them as manual throws. Then I think I'm just going to leave all the upper level like in the industries and in the yards. I'm going to leave it just manual. So I don't have a lot of room between my first and second levels. And I have a bunch of tortoise machines, so I'm going to use them. I'm not going to buy something else. But they have such a large profile and they hang down, So, but the nice thing is I just do basic. I hook up the lights using the tortoise. You guys have seen just a basic red for the turn, red when it's thrown and green when it's on the straightaway. And just for my own use, just so I can look down the line and see that they're lined and not have to worry about it. When I started my first layout in '76, you had no big choice. It was just Atlas. Yeah. And it's probably all brass or steel. You know, steel came out. Tyco, I think, made steel track. I started to rebuild 2017. Wow, has it been that long? Yeah. Yeah, because I just spent all my layout in Arizona in 16. A lot of time flies. Yeah. Yeah, I started planning in 2016, getting the room together, sold the pool table, used that to help buy lumber for the layout and track and stuff. And, got the room all cleaned up and painted. And I started all that like end of 16, beginning of 17. But track finally, layout building, actual bench work and stuff was probably around spring, late winter, early spring of 2017. All right, Chris. Have a good night, man. 7 scale layout, TT, and a 4 by 00 scale layouts, 6 layouts in total. Please. Oh, for your end scale, did you? There was a question about trucks. Who asked that question? Raymond, I think, asked the question about trucks for end scale. Talking to me, Kyle. Yeah, you can ask away, man. I do my best to help you. Again, I'm not a pro at it, but you see, you see my stuff runs. I have very little issues. Most of the issues are because of my own issues, not because the trains ain't running right. It's morning here, Dave. Tomorrow morning. Yeah, I guess it would be, huh? I forget you're like, was it 14, 15 hours ahead of us? My son, I think, is 13 in Seoul in Korea. I think you guys are another one or two ahead of me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to isolate the track segments, like if you're going to do blocks for the hell they call them? Circuit breakers. So in your different breaker sections, you would isolate those sections of track for sure. And probably if you're going to do block detection, you'll have to do isolators, I believe. I mean, it got too complicated, man. I was like, oh my god, what is going on? I was getting confused. Like, I'm so many wires under the layout that I don't even know what the hell they're for right now. In fact, I started pulling wires out of those block detectors. I decided not to go with it. I got that AIOU1 or whatever all it is from was it NCE, whatever, for the block detection, BD20s, all that shit underneath there. Jim Tedesco printed me out the little BD20 holders and screw up underneath the layout. And I just got to be too much. I said I'm not going to run my layout with JMRI or anything like that. This is my controller, my NCE system. I'm good with that. I'm not looking to go with using a cell phone and Blue Namis and all this other shit. I'm good with using what I have. If this all blows up, then I might look at something different. You know what I mean? And that's fine for anybody that is doing all that stuff. I commend you. It's cool as hell, but I'm not very tech savvy as far as computers go, any kind of electronics and stuff. I'm just very, very, very basic, like to almost stupid basic, So, you start throwing too much at me and then too much in my head and then forget it, then I get it all screwed up. And that's where I was having issues with this layout because I was trying to do too much of that and not understanding it correctly and watching too many videos, taking too much advice from too many people. And that's one thing, Kyle. You want to pick one or two people that really know what they're doing. And I'm not necessarily one of them. I definitely answer questions about that, best of my ability. But I'll also tell you when that's above my pay grade too. But don't get too many opinions in there. It's gonna be too much stuff in your head. Then you're gonna be like, oh crap, what am I doing now? So keep that in mind as well. So that's how my mind works, anyways. Those little hamsters in there. I'm getting old and gray. I always tell people it's like a steel trap, getting rusty though. You know. So I mean, there's plenty of people here that would definitely be willing to answer questions and do have a lot of knowledge. I would just pick one or two and kind of bounce between you, two or three of you like that, and go from there and just kind of keep that little group for that specific reason, anyways. You don't want to get too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing, I guess. See, I currently have Atlas Code 83. I don't have nothing but issues. I don't have, yeah, you don't have issues or you do have issues, huh? You kind of misreading that. No. Yeah, well, that's definitely, especially if you're going to shut power off to it, with a toggle. I need to do that still up here at my engine house and stuff. Another thing, I should have done it when I was doing it. Now I got to go back and do it. But problem is, I didn't know exactly where the tracks were going to be and all that kind of stuff. So, but I should have done it when I wired them up. I think Code 100, what I was told in the beginning, why I went with Code 100 as a newbie, was I was told it's more forgiving than Code 83. So if the track works a little less perfect, not that it can be way off, it still has to be pretty damn close. It's a little more forgiving because the rail height is higher, and you know. Hey, passing by you. How you doing? Good evening. But two possums. Anthony Borden. How are you? Stephen, hey, what was that? How you doing, man? Going back to Code 100, okay. Well, if the 83 is in good shape still, you might be able to sell it, even if it's, partial sections, and as long as it's in good shape. You never get what you paid for unless it's brand new. You might get close to it, but Joe says mine's either ground throws or Blue Point machines. Now the Blue Point machines more of those like snap coil machines, or are they more like a tortoise? I had it in my mind I was going to use machines on every turnout. Now the first level, I did pretty much do that, except when I finally got over here by the cement plant and stuff. I just like, this would be easier to just be able to reach in there because I can reach it easy. Just reach in there and click it. I don't even use the caboose throws, the ground throws. I just, use my finger, click it over. Nice and easy, What to do when you're trying to get it in the camera. And the Pico stays in place. I don't know. Well, there's new track, I think, does. They're new turnouts, too. The old ones, I don't think did. A new cat named Jessie. Is it really? That's what my cat's name is, Jessie. Don't look like a Jessie cat, though. It's a tuxedo cat. Man, 7:50 already. I'm getting further behind. What the hell? Use a code 100 for the main, 83 for down low, and slow but long. Long way to go, yeah. Which I've heard people do the opposite of that, Bernard, where they'll use 83 on the main lines and stuff like that, and then like 70 on the spurs, and then on their staging tracks and their helixes and stuff, they'll do code 100. And at the time, when I bought all this code 100, it was cheaper than code 83 for some reason, too. And that was another thing, it was cost, especially at that time. I'm doing a little better financially these days than I was then when I got into it, different shit like that, So it helps. But even still, I mean, I don't care if you have all the money in the world, you still kind of got to sometimes. I still try to be a little frugal on certain things. Track, turnouts, those are things that I would not recommend skimping on. Not that you can't find good track and stuff, used stuff, but you have 3 vintage steel track layouts. Hard to keep playing, yeah. I bought a bunch of used track on the old layout at a show once because I needed it for my yard. I'd run out of, brand new track. And I thought, well, in the yard I could use used stuff. A couple guys were selling it at a show and had some nice bundles. And it all looked good. And it all was pretty good. Different manufacturers. It was all code 100. But there was a couple of sticks of steel in there. And actually, they're up in the cabinet with the trains on them. The display cabinets. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate that. Hey, James, did you see that Harris Junction Hobbies is shutting down? The last day will be October 31st. Oh, no shit. Happy, did you see my short? I see Lauren put up a thing from OVR about shipping to America and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully they'll figure something out. Especially for guys that have pre-ordered stuff through them. See, I don't know. I went up there and he's got a great store, man. Prices were okay. They weren't any worse than anywhere else. And but I was there, so I bought from them there. But it's the shipping, even before tariffs and whatever else, was always more costly to ship from him, to buy from him because of the shipping. So I always try to stay more stateside for that reason, partially for that reason. As hard as your layout is, how much more do you have to do to complete it? Get awesome layout. Track work is all in except for I have this side of the peninsula. I don't have the cameras on it. I'm sorry, man. All right. Above this area here, this is, I did some signage on my buildings. Just been doing a little tinkering stuff. Right above this area, it mimics the area here. And there's no track in there yet as far as industry tracks and stuff. Yeah, and that's kind of what I decided, Jim. The intermodal yard is all in. Haven't done any kind of scenicking or anything like that to it. My CSX yard is all in. Same thing there. There we go. Yeah, I don't have it on my camera. But same thing with like scenery and stuff. I haven't done any scenery in that area. Why is it going to do that? Oh well. Man, I'm just going to keep screwing up. So I can't even show it because for whatever reason it wants to be a jerk. A jerk. Um, but no scenery in that area either. Behind me, you see the brown on the wall. Nothing scenic there. Nothing scenic over in this area. Actually, right behind me on the lower level, you see the church and that, and these trucks and stuff. Um, just in the corner here, I have that business. But the rest of it's not really scenery. You see that area from there. I got quite a bit to do still. I got a lot of areas. Some of it will be rail served. Some of it's just going to be, streets and businesses like that, truck served or whatever. Scenery just to go through. So things will be good for Lauren over. I mean, when that other place closes, we'll probably bring more business over to OVR. Does Lauren do a lot of uh, web business? You know what I mean? Or is it bigger walking for him? People guys to get advice from Kyle. We all share and help each other out when possible. Yeah, absolutely. I've seen your channel. It seems that the layout runs flawless. I haven't seen any issues as the trains go. Well, thanks, Anthony. No, they generally don't. I mean, you've seen. I mean, we've been on almost an hour, or actually an hour, and I don't really have any issues with any of it. I don't have anything fancy going on either, like helixes and too many, inclines and twists and turns. And I mean, I guess we have some twists and turns, but I don't know. Dave, you are done. I need to make a few changes. I am done. Well, I don't know. There's some things I could probably change up. I'm not definitely not done. I mean, my track is in. But as far as scenery and stuff like that, I'm not done. Got a long way to go. 2 points under the table, man. Oh, like those like pull knobs. Crossover. Nope. Oh, I have one double slip, and it's okay. It's in my grain co-op yard, and it's really got to think about it when I use it. Then I got a three-way turnout in my CSX yard, my main yard, and same thing with that. I'm getting used to that. I've only had it in for a little bit since I got that all in a month or two ago. Crossovers at the rear of the layout, and it is elevated. Well, the girls better get working on my next video. Have a great week. Yeah, you too, man. We'll catch you next time. I'm going to be signing off here myself. Throughout my layout in the city, I kept all of it and use it here in the country. Yeah, it makes sense, right? It's all good stuff for the most part. Even if I'm assuming most of it was salvageable, unless you're going in a totally different era, a totally different way or scale. I mean, it's a lot of money to rebuy all that stuff. Hey, Jason, good to see you. I talked to Wilmer, or texted with Wilmer. That's good news. That's pretty cool. So they want I want a Neo airbrush. Yeah. Bring till it plugs up. Wait till it experiences that. Oh yeah, I've had to clean them out. Clean it out. Lights out. Who broke the system? What system? Oh yeah, with the stupid cameras. I don't know. I think it's more in my cameras. I don't know. Yeah. I haven't been having any issues with them, and I don't know why they want to give me trouble tonight. I'm gonna pop in and say hi. Have a great evening, everyone. Hopefully your package is. Yeah, like you said, it's in Chicago. Last I saw. It's only a week and a day later than what they said it was going to get here. But that's nothing you did. I mean, it's just the postal service, you know. Looking forward to getting it though. Okay, it looks like just somebody late reply. PC froze up. Man, apparently my camera's there too. I am slowly putting lights in some of the buildings, probably not every building. Um, my engine house is all lit up. I was going to show it, trying to show it, but apparently my camera doesn't want to work for me. I already showed that one. Try this one more time. In case this dies on me, guys, if it does, I'm just going to call it a night. Why is that camera giving me trouble? Yeah, I do test all this stuff out before I come on. And I don't know why it does this shit though. It's that camera right there. Oh well, yeah. I mean, it's all lit up. What's that on the internet? Yeah, I don't know how a lot of these hobby shops that went out of business. A lot of them, like at least around my area, I don't think they did online sales. You know, so I don't know how you survive today in most any business, really, if you don't sell online. Because so many people don't go to the stores much anymore. Like at Christmas time, I buy most of my shit through the mail, through online stuff. I don't go to the malls. Malls are dead now, anyways. But I don't know, Joe. Good question. I don't even know what that means. But see, but I do see it. Oh, they have a camera. No, I'm for them anyway, so I think it's a good thing. This car's maximum cross-sectional clearance dimensions, allowing it to fit within a defined standard outline and it's wider than the smallest plate B. Suitable for various loads. Yeah. Again, above my pay grade there. Hey, Dave. All right. Buckner Station engaged. Daz, how are you? Good to see you in here. I'm actually getting out. So, all right, guys. Gotta make sure I didn't miss anything here. Probably at the end of this. Human Anthony's a transition there. Modern improvement dying out. I don't think very many manufacturers are making a lot of like that era anymore. It's a lot of the modern stuff, which I mean is great for me. I model modern, but some people don't. You know, people model what they see, model what they grew up with. So, I mean, like the younger people, for those that are younger, like Todd Armstrong, there you go. Model more of the modern stuff. Plus, it's what you see on the rails every day, so it's easier to model it because you can see it visually. Just go out and look at it. You know, to model something from the steam era or early diesel era, you have to do a lot of research. I don't know that it's as available as it used to be. You don't see a lot of that older stuff unless it's like a scenic railroad or something like that. You know, so. No. Anyways, that's it for August. Next Tuesday, the 2nd, have a happy Labor Day, everybody, by the way, will be Wilmer. Start all over again. Let me look at my calendar here. Look at River Desk calendar. September, we'll have 5 Tuesdays. We do have something special for the 30th, I believe, for September 30th. Kind of stay tuned for that. We'll talk more about it as the month goes on. Maybe Wilmer will announce something next week. But yeah, we do have something kind of in the works. Kind of handle that fifth Friday, Jesus, fifth Tuesday. So yeah. That work, yuck. I need to be done with that work thing. Still got too many years to go. Damn it. All right, guys. With that being said, who's up? Thomas, you going up tomorrow, Wednesday? Thomas Grassi, he does that cab crew. I don't know if he does it every Wednesday or not. That whole thing kind of fell apart. I think Thomas is the lone man standing on that. Trackside Mike was a part of that. I don't know if he does it anymore. I know him and James do the Monday thing. Oh, nice. Yeah, I do mostly CSX, but I do have some NS. I like CN. I got a bunch of CN stuff. At least locomotives. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. So I don't know who's doing the Wednesday thing. Like I said, Daryl, he basically, he didn't get rid of his trains or anything like that, but he just kind of backed away from YouTube and life got busy and all that kind of stuff. And then he just said, enough is enough. Thomas is doing Wednesdays. All right. I didn't realize you were doing every Wednesdays, Thomas. You're trying to make a better effort of catching you. Usually I forget that there's, time for the show. Is it 7 or 8? I know they were doing 8 o'clock when they first started it. Artie was supposed to be a part of that, and everything going on with him, he kind of backed out from his show even for a while there. Look at 8 p.m. on Wednesdays. All right. Oh, Heath still goes on? I haven't watched Heath in a long time. I don't watch. I do and I don't, man. I don't know. I guess it'll be nighttime, and I usually sitting at the TV upstairs, and my wife and I are watching our shows and stuff. I don't. Sometimes I'll kind of put it on the phone in the background, and I don't really comment a lot. I apologize to you guys for not being more involved in that stuff, but just kind of, I don't know, the way it ended up. Gotta keep the old lady happy. Just trying to cross the bridge back here, and I can shut it down. I do kind of like running some of the older stuff, though. For my, same here, Thomas. I try to catch you guys here and there. Yeah, I do. I got, let's see. I got the, what's the veterans unit I have up there? I got 2 just CN units. I got 2 with the 100th anniversary on there. And I got the EJ and E. Is that what it is? I got that unit too, the orange one for CN. So I got a couple of Norfolk Southerns, a couple of BNSF. I got 1 Union Pacific, and the Union Pacific Veterans unit. I have that one too. I like the Veterans units. I wanted to collect all those from Canadian Pacific, but I'm like, man, there's just so much stuff out there, man. If I had unlimited money, I'd collect it all, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to collect all the heritage units for CSX. And thankfully, they're only putting out so many at a time and giving you time to save up for them. And like I said, being a CSX modeler, that's my main modeling. That and the Crooked River and Eastern. So those are my 2 main roads. So anyways. All right, I promise I'm leaving this time. So you guys have a good night. Have a happy Labor Day. Stay safe out there. Hopefully I'll catch you on some of the shows. I will not be on Thursday morning, most likely. Usually I don't go on. I'll see how I feel. I might, but if I do, it'll just be kind of impromptu, pop up, whatever, my usual time. Jim Tedesco's on 6 p.m. on Thursdays. I'm not sure what the Canadians go up at 8. I just call them that's the Canadians. To me, that's the group of them. I don't know who's up this time, this week. So, anyways, that's that. I will talk to you guys later. Bye for now.